Good morning. Welcome to all the new Badgers in the room. Welcome to the University of Wisconsin at Madison. I hope you've had a chance to find your way around campus and that you enjoyed being in Madison on Friday night for the first football game of the season. Madison is always rocking, both before and after a football game, and it's always nice when you win, too. It's a pretty special class that we have this year. The 2018 freshman class is the largest in UW-Madison history. That means the graduating class of 2022 is going to be great. And we have about 1,000 transfer students joining us this fall as well, who are going to be graduating even sooner. The freshmen here were selected from a record-breaking pool of more than 43,000 applicants for about 6,800 slots. You're all here because you're highly qualified academically, and because we believe that your talents, your interests, make you an excellent fit for this university. So congratulations to you all. Now, I've seen all of you taking pictures, and it's now my turn. So this is going to be your first official portrait. All right. Everyone ready? Smile. Okay, you look good. I will tweet that from my account. If you want to see it, follow me on @BeckyBlank. Now, I know many of you are already on Instagram and Twitter with us, and let us see what you're up to as your first couple of weeks unfold. Let me tell you a little bit about the people who are sitting on either side of you. You come from 48 different states. Somehow we missed Wyoming and West Virginia, so if you have friends from there, tell them to apply next year. And you come from 45 different countries. More than half of you are from the great state of Wisconsin. And I'm very proud to say that many of our new freshmen and our new transfer students are the first generation in their family to go to college, and special congratulations to them in particular. So I hope you'll find that studying at a major research institution is an extraordinary experience. You can choose from among 124 majors, learn from world-renowned faculty, participate with those faculty in groundbreaking research, and spend a semester abroad in almost any country in the world. But this is also a place that can feel just a little overwhelming, particularly when you're new. So I get to exercise my privilege as Chancellor this morning to give you 3 pieces of advice. First, your primary reason to be here at UW is to learn, to be a student. So take your academic work seriously. This can be a challenging place. The classes are rigorous. You're going to need to keep up with the readings and to do your homework, and your parents are no longer around to nag you. It is up to you to get the work done. A special warning. The students who get in academic trouble in their first year are almost always the ones who party too much. There is a strong correlation between high-risk drinking and academic failure, particularly for freshmen. So be aware of your limits, take care of your health, and be smart about all of the choices that you make. Secondly, get involved outside the classroom. It's the best way to make friends. There are more than 1,000 student organizations on this campus and lots of other opportunities like Badger volunteers to work together on all sorts of projects in the community. Getting involved is not only good for your social life, it's also an important part of your education. If you leave UW with only classroom learning, we haven't done our job. You're here for a residential learning experience, and that needs to stretch far beyond your classes. Expand what you know through volunteer work, internships, research, participation, leadership in student organizations, study abroad, and any number of other things. Why should we care about how you spend your out-of-classroom time? Because in addition to academic learning, we want you to expand your capacity for empathy, your curiosity, your understanding of people of different cultures and backgrounds, and your intellectual confidence. So by the time you graduate, you're ready to apply your knowledge and skills in a way that makes a difference in the world, and that requires both in-classroom and out-of-classroom knowledge. That's what we call the Wisconsin experience. I want to illustrate with a story. 4 years ago, a freshman named Hannah Leiter sat where you're sitting today. Hannah grew up in Appleton. She was the first person in her family to go to college, and she was worried about whether she could succeed here. So she worked hard and she got good grades. But she wanted more out of her college experience than just studying for the next exam. She knew she wanted to study abroad, but she didn't know if she could pay for it. So she asked one of her professors for advice and help. And the next thing she knew, she had a summer internship in a neuroscience lab in Bangalore, India. That experience changed her life. Hannah returned to the UW, determined to learn how to speak Hindi. She added an international engineering certificate to her biomedical engineering major, and she's now back in India as a Fulbright scholar, helping to design life-saving medical devices that are simple enough to build and maintain, even in areas that don't have electricity. Hannah told us the biggest surprise about UW was how readily people would help. How many things that she thought might be impossible turned out to actually be pretty easy to accomplish once she asked for advice and help. Which brings me to my third point. Ask for help. Like many of you, I'm from the upper Midwest. I grew up in Minnesota. I know there are a number of you out there who did the same. I learned from my family that I should take care of my own problems and not bother any other people with them. Does that sound familiar to anyone else in terms of what your family told you? It really wasn't the best thing to learn. Just because you can do things on your own doesn't mean that you should. The faculty, the staff, the advisors, they're all here to work with you and to help you when you need it. So if things aren't quite going the way you want them to at some point in this semester or the next, don't hesitate to reach out. Now, I know school is just starting, and your toughest issue this week may be figuring out if it's possible to get from Steenbach Hall to Van Hise Hall in less than 5 minutes. The answer to that is yes, but it's slightly uphill, so be prepared to sweat a little. Or maybe you're trying to pick a food cart on Library Mall. That is a tough decision. I have tried them all, and you really can't go wrong. There's a reason why Madison has been named one of the country's best cities for food carts. The point is, you're not alone. Everyone has questions and problems, big and small, and we succeed with the help of those around us. We picked you because we want you here as a student. We know you can be successful, but if you hit snags, let us know, because we'll help. That's what it means to be part of community. But great communities don't just happen. They take work. You have to get to know each other, and you have to get to know yourselves better. For many of you, this is the first time you've lived with people who come from different places, who look different, speak different, see the world in different ways than you do. If you're like the rest of us, you're probably a little more comfortable with people whose names and faces and speech are more like your own. And it's just a little too easy to always hang out with that group. But in 2018, one of the most important skills that you can acquire for your future career is how to live and work effectively in a diverse and a global community. So it's our job to help you mix it up a little. You'll take part in the Our Wisconsin program to help you recognize and challenge some of the assumptions you may not even know you're making. And we'll do our best to get you out and involved in activities and events, and maybe push you just a little bit beyond your comfort zone. One thing that's going to bring us all together as a community is reading and talking about this fall's Go Big Read book. It's called The Death and Life of the Great Lakes, and you're going to receive a copy as you leave Cole Center today. Go Big Read is basically the biggest book club you've ever seen. Thousands of people on campus and around the whole Madison community are going to be reading the book. Some of your professors will incorporate it into classroom discussions, and we'll have a big campus conversation in October when the author comes to speak. Now, some of our Go Big Read books have been about topics that are a little more removed from students' life, but this one is up close and personal. Let me take a survey. Raise your hand and keep it up. How many of you are from the following states? Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, or the province of Ontario. All of you abut the Great Lakes and should care about their health. It turns out that 80% of our students come from a state that borders on the Great Lakes. The lakes have a huge impact on us, and we have a huge impact on them. This is a somewhat scary book. I read it earlier this summer. It talks about how we as humans are changing the lakes and in turn changing the environment in which we live. I hope it'll make you think in some new ways about these vital natural resources that we often take for granted. Steve Jobs once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can actually change the world are the ones who do." You've come to a university with a long and very proud commitment to changing the world by actively engaging on issues that affect people's lives. We're not afraid of robust debate on many points of view, even if they're contrary to our values. It is that conversation and that debate that is what free expression is all about and what learning in an academic community is often about. We value diversity. We welcome everyone who wants to learn, to work hard, and to be part of the community. Despite all of your different backgrounds, you now share a common identity as Badgers, one that I hope you're going to claim for the rest of your lives. You're students, and one day will be alumni of one of the greatest universities in the world. So congratulations on being here at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. My very best wishes for your time here as students. On Wisconsin. Thank you.